What's up, guys? Spin Firearms here. $200 pickup, Springfield Armory XDM with the match grade barrel in it. It even says MG as part of the serial number, which is actually pretty cool. Love this thing, 13+1. It's basically subcompact size, maybe a little bit thicker. Nice sights, great gun to learn how to carry a gun with, or carry with around in the chamber. We're just gonna shoot it, let a couple mags go, and then get out of here. Thing is fast, accurate, and you can use a 35 round OEM mag. Let me say that again, 35 rounds. Yeah, it sits down to here, but who doesn't want that? If you live in a state where you can have it, you better have it. This thing rips. Still no problems. For $200, a reliable handgun, you can't beat it. You just can't beat it. Smith & Wesson Shield Carry Comp. Now, I had some people that got in my comment section saying, I saw this review, it had a lot of issues for them. That's with any handgun. I have not had any issues. Typically, I don't edit, but I think we're actually going to edit this video, but not because anything happened with the handgun. But a lot of people have been saying, oh, this reviewer had issues. This reviewer had issues. I haven't had issues. If I had issues, that would be a video and that would get a lot of views, because that's what happens when you get issues with a handgun. People jump on it. But people also think because that one man's handgun has issues, they all have issues. They're all bad. They're all trash. That's just not realistic. That's just not real. If you've owned firearms for a long time, shot a lot of firearms, you have issues. That's part of the game. The whole game, though, is trying to avoid those issues by going with reputable manufacturers. Now, I know Smith & Wesson's going through a lot quality control-wise right now, but I haven't had issues. If I had issues, you guys would know. This has a Holosun EPS carry on it. This is not the solar charging version. I got this on Optics Planet for really cheap, a really good deal at Optics Planet. I think I walked out the door with it at $240, something crazy like that. I was really happy with that pickup because this setup right here, if you go with this handgun, with this optic, that's going to cost you about $890 out the door. So that is a solid setup, and you have everything you can need. It comes with 3 mags, so you don't even need to buy a couple extra backup mags. I recommend you buy more, but you don't really have to, right? This setup is awesome, the best of both worlds. It's thin, concealable. It does not have any snap to it, has that nice compensator on it. Long barrel, even though the comp's up front, you still get a decent sight radius through it. It's just a good overall carry gun, the best of both worlds. And I actually prefer it over my original Shield Plus. Now, if you have a Shield Plus, you don't have to run out and buy this. That's not what I'm saying. I love my Shield Plus, my regular 3.1 inch. I carry it all the time. I'm just saying overall, generally speaking, if you typically like a little bit bigger handgun, this is the way to go. I love this thing. And on top of that, it doesn't hurt all the nice features on it in terms of all the shaping they did to it, all the lightning cuts, the comp is sweet. They put nice sights on it. The whole handgun is textured all the way up into here. It's just an awesome setup. And with this dot, I think it's the perfect overall carry option. Now, someone said, is it a direct mount? They were curious. Yes, the EPS carry that I have on this one is a direct mount. You can go ahead and get the part number and everything just so people can see. This is not the solar charging one. I do not prefer the solar charging one. I like this. It has a side battery port. So very easy to swap out, and I think the batteries last 50,000 hours or something like that. So not a big deal. Let's put some shots through it. You guys can see how flat it is and how you can still shoot even though the comp's up front. Let's get into it. Very smooth. I mean, very clean. One thing I do notice is it does have a bit more muzzle flip than my 3.1 inch. That's because there's just more mass at the end, causing that weight to go back. But in terms of felt recoil, very minimal. It is a great handgun for concealed carry. I think they knocked it out of the park with this one. Now, the issues a lot of people were talking about were that slide stop. They were saying it wasn't locking back in a couple people's videos. The thing is, you have to watch them. A lot of the times, I even admit it, I just put out a video recently where on an XDM, and I think even on my Hellcat, I was the reason for it not locking back. So you always got to just, check things. Typically, you don't have that problem with Smith & Wessons, but if it's bad, then you just send it to Smith & Wesson, they take care of it. I have a buddy who just bought a used handgun from Smith & Wesson. We took it to the range. It jammed every other round. It was a Shield Performance Center in 40, and he sent it back, and it's already on its way back. Flawless, no charges. So shout out to Dan, but Smith & Wesson will take care of you. So you got to respect that. If there is an issue, they take care of it. This is the 15-round mag. So you can see I get full 3-finger contact on this thing. Every shot on target. Every shot. This setup is just sick. I wasn't a big dot fan. I'm starting to like dots a lot more. The Vortex Defender is my favorite. That's on my Hellcat. The Hollison EPS carry, though, is solid as can be. I also love the 407K. But I really like this dot. It's built like a tank. Absolute tank. And we've been running this thing dirty. This is probably around, I don't know, 1,200 rounds or so. We've been running it dirty the whole time, and it's spraying great. Every shot. This thing's sick. And if you can see, I'm shooting a human-sized torso target. So that's more realistic for self-defense. I absolutely love this handgun. I'm telling you guys, this is a winner. This is a game changer. And we shot this back-to-back with the AXG Legion. I love the AXG Legion. That is a P365 variant that I can admit that I love. I don't like the polymer versions, but the AXG Legion is solid as can be. But for the price tag, $650 versus that being $1,200, we both, my buddy Heg and I, both agreed on this. A better shooter, flatter shooter, and that thing's made of metal. So you can save a lot of money going with this, but I do like the AXG Legion. It's a hell of a gun. All right. Want to get the target? Every shot. This thing is just too easy to shoot. It's a cheat code. I consider this a concealed carry cheat code. One thing I do want to point out, though, is what I've seen on a couple new Smith & Wesson releases, including the Bodyguard 2.0, as well as one of the carry compacts that they released, the sights have been off. So if you're shooting off a little bit, it's your sights, most likely. The Bodyguard was really bad on mine. Once again, shout out to my buddy Heg on one of his. It was a little off. It is what it is. You just got to get it pushed over. These look pretty good, though, but you can typically notice all you got to do is look for the margins on the left or right of that front dot. So that has been an issue for some people. It's fixable. That's not the worst thing in the world. But once again, if you send it to Smith & Wesson, they'll take care of it for you. I do all my own sights typically, so not really a problem for me. But yeah, that is the best gun of 2024 so far.